Hi, I am Joseph Aswaga, and this week I've been at James Bond Island. Been to, I believe it's Coconut Beach. We also went on quad bikes, which was beautiful, through the forest. How did I first hear about SOHA retreats? Whoa, Manuel. It's been a long journey, so I knew Manny before he started the SOHA, and I remember him talking about one day he was gonna have these retreats all over the world. I knew I had to be on one. I saw a man that was just in recovery. He reminded me of my father, a little bit of my brother, and of me. It didn't start that way. When I first saw him on Instagram, it was, all right, there's this cool guy in a nice hotel, tatted up. I kinda wanna be like that guy, let me see what he's about. And I opened it up and he was talking about how he was new and sober. The first thing I thought about was this guy all the way in the United Kingdom because I'm coming from the USA. And my first thought was, how can I help this guy? How can I help him? You know, how can I shine light for somebody who's in another country, help someone that I saw was doing something good for himself? But throughout the years, I found that I needed him. Then he created SOHA Retreats. And at that point, I have been living in a small one-bedroom apartment for about 4 years, not working, not socializing with people. I became really scared of the world. I had a lot of anger, resentment in how I grew up with my father who abused drugs. And he cleaned up his life, but it was a little late for him. He contracted HIV. I never thought I'd be in a world without my father. I looked up to him as a male figure. He wasn't the best man to learn from, except for the last 10 years of his life. He was in recovery and he became a substance abuse and HIV counselor. And he changed a lot of lives. And that's what I saw Manny doing. That's what I see him continuing to do, to change lives. And I believe if my father was still alive, that he'd be doing what Manny was doing. That's what made me want to come here. It made me want to learn. It made me want to not just learn, but to live life, because that's what my mother and my father, that's what they did. I'm one of 5 kids. So it took the last 2 of us for them to be in a space to say, you got to live, you got to do things. Because of that, I was on a search to live my best life, and I didn't know how, again, until I met Manny. Every day is a work in progress, but I got to say, I've lived more life in a week than I've lived in 39 years. How did it impact me? I have not been more free than I've been ever. I have excitement. I was taking 7 naps a day, 45 minutes each, drinking, taking pot, cannabis, but coming here, it opens up your eyes that you don't need that to be advice. You can actually go out into the world. You can live if you choose to. This was like really like a hard reset for what that was. I think I had pretty high expectations, but that's because I've known Manny for quite some time. So I understood the caliber and the class and the respect and the integrity that he has behind what he does. What I received was nothing less than that. What I experienced was also something so much more. Who the hell jumps off into waterfalls? That's insane, that's insane. Everything's not gonna be perfect, but I had such an awakening of just how to live, you know? And I'm forever grateful for that. Being part of a group, it was hard. I haven't interacted with people in quite some time, so it was very nerve-wracking. Felt like I was gonna pass out a couple times. The hardest part of interacting with people, other than not being with people for a while, was that I didn't have alcohol, I didn't have cannabis. My brain kind of haywired, it went haywire. It's not that I don't know how to have a conversation, but I did not know how to have a conversation with new people. But before I can realize what I was going through, Manny looked at me and he says, breathe. I didn't know how to cope in that moment. I didn't know how to need someone in that moment because I taught myself to deal with it all on my own. People don't have to have your back every day, every minute of the day. But when somebody has your back and has it the right way, it means the world. It made me want to step up. And so I took that deep breath, looked Manny right in the eye, and I reset. Would I recommend it? Yes, I absolutely would. I would recommend it to anyone. I would recommend, from what I've learned, that it's not about everybody else, it's about you, it's about your journey. You're not here to, you create friendships, but you're not here to make friends. You're here to find balance. You know, at least for me, I learned how to start to respect myself again. I mean, you get it on this trip. You get it on this trip. I would consider booking, and I would consider not leaving now. The next one I would love to try, if it's not Thailand again, it would be Egypt. It would be, yeah, Egypt would be the next one.